Hello, Briarpatch. My name is Adrienne Jones, and I'm a program manager here at UW Health. And it is a privilege and an honor to celebrate you on your 50th anniversary. This is a major milestone for your organization, and we appreciate the work that you do here to ensure the safety and well-being of our youth here in Dane County. UW Health is committed to supporting your efforts as you continue to do this amazing work that is so important. I hope that you all enjoy this special day. And it is, again, an honor to be here to celebrate you. Thank you.
Well, what is the Briarpatch in literature? It's a place where you can go and be concealed and hidden, and if things go well, you can be protected. So that was the motivation. And it seemed to, for whatever reason, it seemed to click with people. Yeah, the Briarpatch, that would be us. We can be a Briarpatch.
Around the age of 18, I was getting some good rapport from some of the people out in the community for the work that I was helping out with in the community and Ally. I ended up becoming the work team supervisor for Briarpatch. What nobody knew was I came to work every day, clean, dressed, and everything. I was living in the hotel across the street from Thayer Road, and I was coming to work every day.
Back in 2016, when I was a student at MATC and Madison Memorial High School, I was in a situation where I needed help, and one of my Madison College teachers reached out to Briarpatch to help me find housing.
In about 1971, my wife and I had looked into becoming foster parents, and it was clear that things were not working, at least in our eyes, the way they should. That what was needed was something other than having the police pick up runaways and return them to home. So we had to, in effect, find some way of finding another way, and that was the origin of Briarpatch, is that let's simply create, if we can, an alternative agency that would treat kids and their families differently.
My experience was, my mom passed away, so I had to grow up. There was no question that that had to be the case. Being in that space, there's a lot of anxiety that comes with that. Transitioning, trying to figure out where I was gonna stay, who I was gonna stay with, where I was gonna go. So there's all these pressures.
I had a lot of difficulties getting transportation to school and work, stable housing, and making sure that I had money for school supplies and for food. I had no one by my side, none of my family members, and the people who supported me the most were Briarpatch.
I think it was 1983 that I became a host home, so that girls would come to my house and stay with us for often just a weekend. They'd have a disagreement at home on Friday night and run away and go to Briarpatch, and by Monday they'd get some counseling going with the family and get them back home was the goal. And over the years I had, I think, about 135.
Briarpatch is a very quiet organization that does great work. This staff is amazing. We have some wonderful people who have been with this organization for years, and we have new people who have new ideas, young people who are starting their careers, who are so invested in the lives of young people.
So treat me Caucasian. Come off them benefits. Untriple all of our sentences, treat me Caucasian. Give me a loan with no sin attached. Give me some privilege. Give me that. Because I'm all in your hood with my hoodie on. And I got Skittles and tea. But I'm like 14. So treat me Caucasian. So what do? We find a lot. One that upon entering, it'll feel as though the city has never existed. We bring friends for laughter and blankets for comfort, and we watch as the sun drips golden across the wild weeds. Plants too strong for the confinements of a cement crack, and like a whisper into a song, they'll grow and create their own garden. Be weary of the broken beer bottles and the used needles, but look past the ugly and encourage the intoxicating soil for what it truly is. This is a haven for all those who do not want to face the reality that our life has become, that watching life itself go by has become our crime. So treat us Caucasian. Come off them benefits. Untriple all of our sentences. Treat us Caucasian. Give us a loan with no sin attached. Give us some privilege. Give us that. Because we all in your hood with our hoodies on. But we got Skittles and tea. And we're like 14. So treat us Caucasian. Thank you. As I said, I wrote that poem, and it's actually been added to over the years. Witnessing things that I have seen in my own life. And when I think about that poem, I literally couldn't think of a better place to be reflective than here at Briarpatch. Because everybody that's felt what I went through to write that, they found a haven here. This is a sanctuary for that. And it's a place where you can come and really be okay.
It was clear that we were having an impact. I mean, kids were coming to us, and we were treating them differently. We not only were not turning them in and saying, okay, I'm going to ship you back to your parents, but we're saying, we want to work with you. We want to hear your story.
My mom was abusive. She had some challenges and did not protect me. So I ended up running away a lot. I spent a lot of time in the streets. I spent a lot of time on State Street. And I ended up getting connected with an older guy who was probably around 19 at the time, and I was like in middle school. And he became my safe haven. I think that's the best way that I can describe that relationship. Of course, it was not healthy, it was toxic, and I became pregnant.
I was in group homes and temporary foster homes, so my mom had signed over rights to me, to the courts. We had just moved here from California. Right before I hit high school, and the adoption, I just, the parenting or lack thereof and guidance really just threw me for a loop when we moved out here, so I kind of rebelled.
I think the most important aspect of Briarpatch is that they were available when there was no one else there, right? Like I was pregnant at one point, I was 7 months pregnant. I think that's a big deal, having a teenager on the street and having no other options and having someone to call and to receive shelter and safety.
During groups, I found, identifying with my peers around me. And I believe there was a couple of the group leaders who had actually been there, done that kind of thing too. So I was able to identify with them, and especially my peers, the youth peers, to hear about their struggles, how they've survived, how they've made it, so to speak. It helped encourage me on I can do this too.
It was very interesting how we would share. I always told them that my job is not to fix you. You don't have to tell me your problems if you don't want to. My job is to give you a safe place to live, warmth, and good meals, healthy meals, and try and have a calm environment for you. But I would usually share the story of how I got involved at Briarpatch with my daughter and tell them my story, and they just naturally would open up and tell me their story.
Briarpatch didn't put an excuse. They didn't stop helping me. They didn't limit my opportunities. I am who I am at this point because of Briarpatch, because they were that stepping stone that helped me gain the life skills that I needed to finish school and have stability in my life.
I see Briarpatch as a huge catalyst, as before, of really advocating for not only young people in general, but creating more of a communal space for our young adults and young people to be able to come to be a safe place to come and not only seek shelter, but also seek resources in the community.
There's youth out there every single day that need places like Briarpatch. It has to be an ongoing service provided. It can't just be, you know, you going through the court system and then bye, you're out on the streets without any thought towards that youth anymore. There's so many of us out there who don't have that support at home or where we're at, and you have to have that.
It is about looking at our past. You know, what have we done in the last 50 years, and acknowledging the great work, acknowledging the people who have invested in Briarpatch over the years, recognizing the value that Briarpatch brings to our community, right, for the past 50 years. Now we have to really plan for the future. Our community is changing, and it is a perfect opportunity for us to reimagine what Briarpatch can be and continue to grow. And so I am so excited for the future of Briarpatch.